A senator from San Francisco calls you both land barons and accuses you of using Mexican trickery to block American progress.
Whoa.
Boo. All right, everybody, we're back. Hi.
Hello.
It's the We Are Fine podcast. Welcome. How are you? Are you doing well? Are you fine? We're fine. I have a headache, but I'm fine. It'll be okay. Because we're going to be playing a super fun game again tonight, and we have a super fun person to play it with. The Educator Andrea is in the building.
Yeah.
What's up, Andrea?
Hey, thank you guys so much for having me on.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here and hang out with you guys.
I know. I had the privilege of riding shotgun in Andrea's rental car all through California, with French fries all over the car.
Listen. Okay. The amount of judgment I have received. First of all, when
I was going to say, hold on.
Only from Andy Miller, though.
Only from Andy Miller. And here's the thing. When I picked Lauren up, there was not a fry in that car because what happened was I picked her up and the very famous Casey, I picked them both up at the airport.
Yes.
And then we immediately went to In-N-Out and got food.
Yes.
And then I was driving and being a safe driver. And so I was less concerned about where the fries dropped and
versus where the car was on the road.
Because driving from San Diego to Irvine can be a bit of a nightmare. Like the 5 is a nightmare. And so I was not, I was trying to make sure we got there safe. And
I did offer to hand feed French fries, just just baby bird it into her mouth, but she didn't want to do that.
You could have stopped and just said Lauren had food in the car, and I'd be like, oh, it was Lauren's fault. Based off of how my passenger seat looks in my car half the time.
That is a lie.
That is not a lie.
That's a lie.
Unfortunately, I don't think I could honestly say that it was anyone's fault but mine, because anyone who's been in my vehicle that I drive around on a regular basis will also almost certainly find French fries or other food products askew. And
Stop looking at me.
I am staring daggers at you.
There's
I think we found
not
a car
single
twin.
French fry in my car.
Yeah, more like a hash brown.
Okay, hash brown. I can't speak to hash browns.
I feel like the thing is like we're busy people and we have priorities, and I really, with my whole heart, forget that my car exists the second I get out of it and am unaware of what's in the car until I pick somebody else up and I have to throw a bunch of fast food bags or random kids art and stuff. I we've got the kids, but in California, I did not have kids with me. It was just us, and I still got judged by Andy.
Listen, it's so relatable, and I don't even mind because I do the same thing with my car, and I don't even have kids.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad because I don't even have that as an excuse.
Yeah, I would love to be and before I had kids, immaculate vehicle, but that's never been the case. So one of the things, self-care, right? I'm one of the things that I'm going to start doing is every other month, there is one of my college students who started a car detailing service. And so I invest the money every other month. He comes and cleans my car. So at least my car is clean every 2 months. And then I try and limp along in between. But so I have an official French fry scraper every 2 months that comes and de-disgustings my car.
I need to do that.
And I was going to ask, Andrea, what is your favorite sponge to use while detailing your car?
Wow. I mean, who could choose, honestly? So many options available.
I
know.
Blue ones.
You like blue ones?
Because they blend in with the water.
Well, I have someone else wash my car, so.
Listen, I have that too, but it's just called my husband.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And it's also not free because he just takes it to the car wash and does it there. But I don't have to do it. So it's a plus.
And I feel a little disheartened now that I realize, because what you do is you let it get so dirty that I get frustrated and then take it because I'm frustrated because
Hey,
I
by
like
the
to
way,
keep immaculate cars.
Do you have gas in your car?
See,
Can I
I was
steal
gonna
your
bring
car
this up.
tomorrow?
I was going to bring this up. It's gotten to you keep your car so disgusting. It's gotten to the point when you ask to do this.
Disgusting.
Yes, it is. When you
is
ask
not.
to do this, I come up with excuses to not give up my pristine car.
Okay, I will be fair. My car, I don't keep it as pristine as you, but I will disagree that it's disgusting. And I would be comfortable in my car, and I think other people would too.
I would be comfortable in it. I can guarantee you.
Thank you.
And here's the thing. Having Jordan clean it, it sounds like the cost is his judgment.
Yeah,
So
which is
I mean,
worth
that
it.
is not free. Like, that's not free. There
It's
is a cost
not.
associated with that. Because my
is.
husband also, like, he judges me and I'm like, listen, I do all the drop-offs.
I'm doing my best, okay? Well, we have a game that we're going to play today, and
Awesome.
it's called Past to the Future. So how we play this game is we input the date that this episode's going to air. So it's going to be April 4th. And then we take events in history that happened on that day and try to completely rewrite them in chaos.
Amazing.
So
Yes.
Okay.
the event that we're going to rewrite today is the founding of Los Angeles. So it's perfect that we talked about California
Yes.
for this whole first,
Yes.
10 minutes of the episode. So if you didn't know, Los Angeles was founded in 1850. And this was the beginning of its development into a major metropolis. So we have already selected our characters. Jordan is going to be playing
Do it.
Listen,
Full send.
You gotta say
This
it.
name-
Say it with your chest.
Pico. His name is, I hope it's Pio.
That
It looks
sounds
like,
right.
I would
was
think
gonna
it's
say,
Pio.
There's
it looks
the
like Pico.
there's the
little
thing over the eye.
accent over the I. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got Pio Pico, the last governor of Mexican California before it became part of the U.S., a wealthy landowner and a key figure in early Los Angeles politics.
Mm-hmm.
You finally get to do politics,
You get
Jordan.
to do politics.
Yeah.
Let's get
And-
political.
And Andrea, she wanted to be rich, so she's going to
Yes.
be Arcadia Bandini de Stearns Baker. And you know she's rich when you have like 3 last names.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
Um,
when one of them's duh. too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. If,
Right.
if there's a duh.
yeah.
Right.
I love
So
it.
Arcadia is a powerful landowner also and a socialite who played a major role in shaping early Los Angeles' economy and society.
Nice.
So we'll see how these two individuals end up shaping the future of Los Angeles much differently than it actually
Oh
occurred.
God, what if our choices lead to Los Angeles never existing?
Honestly,
Oh my
like,
gosh,
have
it
you?
could.
When's the last time you've been to LA? It's
It's been like 10 years for me.
not my favorite
It's been a
place.
minute.
So
It's not my
um,
favorite either, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I know. I like. There's some nice spots, but
It's too much city for me.
yeah.
It's a lot of people.
Isn't one of your favorite places New York?
Yeah, but like there's a way different vibe in LA than New York.
Yeah.
I think our producers are gonna fight you.
It's not that it's not like
They have to
it's
live
not
there, they know.
bad.
They know.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just different. It's just different. It costs the same amount of people, maybe
As
more.
New York.
Yeah, as New York,
Yeah.
but it's different vibe.
I was gonna say it does not cost the same to live in LA as Youngstown, Ohio.
No.
That is
Oh,
not true.
absolutely not. No, I was talking LA to New York. Yeah,
Right.
that's similar.
Yeah.
Okay, so the year is 1850, the birth of Los Angeles. Los Angeles has just been officially incorporated as a city on April 4th, 1850, but this is no ordinary city launch. California has only recently become part of the United States after the Mexican-American War, and tensions are high. The future of the city depends on political alliances, land disputes, and the influence of key figures like you two.
Oh boy.
Okay, so a group of American businessmen, fresh from the East Coast, have arrived in town and are pushing for major development projects, but at the cost of Mexican landowners losing their properties. They want to build a railway that could boost trade and connect Los Angeles to San Francisco. But this could also displace hundreds of longtime residents and shake up the balance of power. You, Pio Pico.
Can I
See,
get a
I feel
rewind
like-
on that one?
I
Say
feel
that
like
again. I'd like to hear that one more time.
Pio Poco is a fun name too, though.
Poco.
You, Pio Pico, and Arcadia Bandini must decide how to handle this situation. Okay?
Wait,
So-
are we collaborating on this?
Yeah,
or do we
this is
Ooh.
collaborative.
Okay.
As the wealthy landowners of the
Right.
time, you guys are probably in similar circles socially.
Yes.
So yeah, you guys have to decide how you're going to respond to these businessmen and their plans to build this railway. So
Okay.
here are some choices that we have to make.
Am I
So
one of the dastardly businessmen or the ones that is getting his land stolen from him?
No,
these
you
are
were,
the East Coasters.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah, and you were the previous mayor? Governor?
governor,
Right?
I think.
Oh, so
Yeah.
they're coming to take my land. No.
Yes. So you're salty, and I don't know how I got my money, but
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know how you got your money either. Maybe
Yeah.
you were born into money.
maybe. I mean, as a woman in that era, that's pretty much
That's
the only
probably-
option. So
I was gonna say I don't think women in that time frame could even own bank accounts. So
no, not it was like the 70s or something, like way
Yeah,
more
it
recent than it
was
should be.
yeah, like
Women could have
really
bank accounts of their own.
a
I'm gonna assume
scary
I'm-
amount of time.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume I'm a rich widow and I killed my husband.
Oh, I love
I
that
like
for
that.
I love that
I
for your
love that.
backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna go with that.
So, do we, 1, support the railway project? You'll encourage the project, believing that it will modernize Los Angeles and turn it into an economic powerhouse. However, this means negotiating land rights that could lead to local resistance. 2, fight against the project. You'll stand up for the local Mexican landowners, arguing that their land should not be taken away for a development that only benefits American interests. 3, negotiate a compromise. You propose that some landowners will be paid fairly for their land, while others keep their properties, ensuring both economic growth and local stability. Or 4, use a sneaky strategy. You secretly buy up key land before the businessmen can, ensuring that you control the terms of development and can decide who benefits most. All right, so you guys have a decision to make. This is a tough one.
I mean,
So what are your thoughts?
my gut, like we all know it. Like I feel like this is like one of those where people are like, "What would you do?" And when you go to like when you do a BuzzFeed quiz and they're like,
Yeah.
"Which princess
Yeah.
are you? The one who likes roses?" Like I feel like we're supposed to be like stand up for the Mexican landowners, but as a widow who recently murdered my own husband, my ethical standards are probably a little bit dicey.
Yeah.
And if I'm maintaining my wealth and I'm thinking this far ahead, and all these other people who are not even from this area, we're from this area, we know what's best for the people of California.
Mhm.
I feel like if we went and bought up the land before those outsiders came
Yes.
along, we could make sure that things were equitable and fair, and we stayed very, very rich.
I am in
Everyone
100% agreement. I was like, I don't want to support them and I don't want to compromise with them. Screw them. They're from the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. And then I'm thinking
Right.
like, yeah, we could fight against it, but how am I going to make money in the fight?
Yeah.
The sneaky strategy. That's the strat.
Okay, so now we know how the 1% makes their decision.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
This
we're
is a
going with the
slippery slope.
sneaky strategy.
Okay.
See, I feel like we're gonna hate ourselves at the end of this because we're gonna start off. We're gonna be good with this land at the end of it. And I was like, look at all this money I'm making from it. I'm not
Yes.
giving it up. I was gonna say I'm excited about this one because I've never gotten to play the villain
no,
before.
no.
We're on our
I-
villain era here.
I mean, each villain they're a hero in their own mind. Most, I don't think, see themselves as villains. They just,
Yeah, that's true. You're like, I'm
are in
helping others,
reality.
but also getting rich in the process.
yes, win-win.
All right, so you chose option 4, the sneaky strategy. Instead of fighting the American businessmen outright, Pico and Arcadia Bandini decide to outmaneuver them in a
Ha-ha.
high-stakes game of land acquisition. Using their deep knowledge of local ownership laws and insider connections, they work behind the scenes to purchase key plots of land before the businessmen can claim
That's
them.
right.
I really, really like the phrasing of ownership laws and insider connections instead of corruption.
Yeah.
And insider trading.
Yes.
Yeah, they wanted to really hammer in there that they did it legally.
It was
we-
legal. It was on the up and up. It's fine. Behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
Okay, so this is how you pulled it off.
Okay.
Arcadia, using her elite social connections, spreads rumors that another group of investors is about to buy land, driving up demand and confusing potential buyers.
Nice.
Pico leverages his political experience to delay official land sales, buying time to finalize strategic purchases. Together,
Oh, I love that.
you bribe a few local officials.
Ooh.
Nothing
Now it feels like a crime.
illegal.
Yeah.
Nothing illegal. Just, some expedited paperwork.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's the get this done fast fee.
Right.
Yeah.
To ensure that the most valuable land remains in your hands.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem fishy at all.
Yeah, none of what this is reading is corruption at all.
No.
At all. It's fine.
It all seems above board.
No crime to be seen.
Nope, not from Pico and Arcadia. The immediate consequences that actually happen from this choice of yours is that now you own some of the most important land around Los Angeles. So kudos to you. Good,
Look at us
congrats.
go.
The businessmen, unfortunately, though, they're furious.
Do you think I care that they're mad?
They're
Like,
mad
no.
because they have no choice but to now negotiate with you for land rights.
West Coast is best coast. So
He's saying that from the Midwest.
Mhm.
I get no coast.
Pico, you have a new nickname. El Zorro de Los Angeles.
That's a cool nickname.
That is a badass nickname. I'm not gonna
That's
lie.
really cool.
It is cool. And, if you weren't
I was going to say, for
familiar
those
with
of
any
us in the room
Spanish.
who don't speak Spanish, would you like to translate
yes,
that, please?
the Fox of Los Angeles.
Ooh.
Sneaky.
I thought it was just an allusion to the movie Zorro. No, because I assume that movie's also based on some sort of situation where a guy was named Zorro and wore a mask, but I never knew that Zorro meant
Do you know Zorro's real name?
No.
Guy Fawkes.
No, Antonio Banderas.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Love
It
it.
has been Antonio Banderas.
Wait.
Antonio Banderas. yeah.
Guy Fawkes, the Guy Fawkes masks. That's the
Yeah,
reason
but he
they
was the
wear
one
the
who
Guy
blew
Fawkes
stuff up.
masks.
Yeah,
He's
that's
the guy
V
who,
for
like-
Vendetta. That's a different movie.
That's a different movie.
Oh,
That's an entirely
that's my
different
bad.
movie.
I was like,
Whoops.
historically, I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure if
Yeah.
Zorro is based on history, it would have been Mexico. But
Well,
Guy Fawkes is
good thing
from-
I'm rewriting history in this game because I just got you all. Haha, that was a joke.
Like Guy Fawkes Day, like that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, it is.
That's not
I was
all right.
mixing up V for Vendetta for sure.
Did you look at that entire movie and be like, wow, why are they all wearing Antonio Banderas masks? That's real weird.
Listen,
man.
guys, I'm not cultured in the way of movies. I'm really
No,
not.
You are not.
I'm not. But I
It's
just
all
it
right.
popped that
Yeah.
connection popped in my head. So, well, I'm thinking V for Vendetta. Anyway,
Proud of you.
That's all right.
you live and you learn. I learn something new every day on this show. Arcadia. So you become one of the wealthiest landowners in the region, as if you weren't already one of those.
That's right.
Giving you unparalleled influence over city development. So now you run the show, girl.
We love to see it.
Yeah, we love to see a queen
Mhm.
in power. Okay, so the unexpected twist to this situation we got going on here. Just when you think you've secured victory, a new challenge arises.
Who thinks they could take us down? No one could take us down.
Well, the U.S. government.
Oh, bring it on.
The U.S. government gets involved, and word reaches Washington that California's new state officials begin questioning the legality of your purchases.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
I'd like to see them try to question. They don't have
That's
tanks
right.
yet. It's just horses. Come on, bring it on.
Well,
Yeah.
a senator from San Francisco calls you both land barons and accuses you of using Mexican trickery
Whoa.
to block American
Whoa.
progress.
Whoa,
Whoa.
whoa, whoa.
Boo.
Arcadia,
Boo.
my husband was maybe Mexican. Arcadia does not sound like a traditionally Mexican name.
Stearns Baker doesn't sound Mexican either.
I'm also going to say that's just a jerk move. We've gone from like originally the villains, now we're the good guys. Because that
Yeah.
guy's a jerk.
That
Yeah.
guy's racist.
Yes.
For sure.
Mexican trickery. Ew.
Insane.
To block American progress. Ugh, boo. Tomato, tomato. The governor of California demands a hearing where you must defend your land holdings. If you lose, the state could seize some of your property and redistribute it to the railway developers. If you bought the property, why would they give it to them? Why
Because
wouldn't they just give it back to the people you bought it off of?
Eminent domain. They're giving it to the capitalists. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
We're capitalists. We just won the capitalism game, and now they're trying to come for us. No, they are 100% doing it because the railway developers are giving money to all the politicians for their re-election campaigns.
All right,
I really
so
also like this idea of Pio and Arcadia go to court movie.
it does sound like a fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
All right, so what is your next move? Are you going to launch a legal defense and hire some top lawyers to use the courts to prove that your land purchases were legitimate? A slow but reliable method. Are you going to bribe more people, bribe some state officials?
Well, more seems excessive. We greased some wheels.
A risky but potentially effective move. If you grease the right palms, I should have changed that to wheels. If you grease the right wheels, the governor's office may forget about the issue.
Ah.
Or you could make a political alliance, seek out powerful U.S. allies, perhaps by offering land to influential politicians in exchange for their support. Or you could stage a fake crisis by manufacturing a bandit problem on the land in question, making the government believe it's unsafe and unsuitable for development.
It doesn't help us because we want people buying it and developing it.
Yeah, it seems counterproductive.
But you're right, but I want to stage a fake crisis so bad.
You want a false flag attack?
It just sounds fun. Okay, a bandit problem? That's like code for like raccoon infestation.
Yeah.
You know?
This isn't Parks and Rec.
It reminds me of Parks and Rec. Andrea's blonde like Amy Poehler.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it could work. I mean, a fake crisis, I feel like, would end up hurting the people that we, initially sought out to also help.
Yes,
because they would immediately assume the bandits are Mexican, and then it would also hurt like the original landowners.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to lean on the third one of making a political alliance, because that is how everything gets done, is that we find the right people and grease some wheels in Washington.
See, I'm torn between making a political alliance and then the legal defense, because I do love me some wacky courtroom drama. But the problem is I want to be a silly goose in the courtroom, and I'm just gonna lose. So I should probably
you
go
spent all
with
this money on this
Andrea.
land, you can't be a silly goose.
I probably should go with Andrea's suggestion of political alliance.
The legal defense situation also would mean that like everything would get tied up, and they might seize it while everything was being investigated. So then also we wouldn't have access and wouldn't be able to move land or any of that kind of stuff. So it's better if it just goes away.
Yeah.
Right, because you'd have lots of like liens on the properties, and then also you would be, in the court system, which we all know moves at the speed of light.
Yeah.
So
how are they leaning on the property? I don't have any fences up.
Oh my God. All right, so we're making a political alliance here. We got to seek out some powerful allies and hopefully be able to make the government get off our back. All right.
Yeah, I don't want the government investigating my corruption.
No. Let's give them more corruption.
Yeah. All right, realizing that legal battles and bribery could be risky, Pico and Arcadia Bandini decide to play the long game. Instead of fighting the system, they become part of it. By forging strategic alliances with powerful U.S. politicians, they work to secure their land and influence in the new California government. So, Arcadia hosts lavish social events at her estate, inviting, of course, she hosts the best parties, inviting key state officials and business leaders. Over fine wine and extravagant feasts, she subtly influences their views, positioning herself as a visionary for Los Angeles rather than a land baron.
She sounds like the Jay Gatsby of the West
She
Coast.
does.
Ooh, yes. Yes.
Ooh, that's a good comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Pico reaches out to Senator William Gwynn, one of California's first senators, and offers him a stake in a Los Angeles land project. Gwynn, eager to expand his influence in Southern California, agrees to support your claims in exchange for a cut of future developments.
He sounds
That
like a smart
sounds
man.
like bribery, kind
No,
of also.
Just a smart. No, see, Lauren. No,
Just
no.
a little bit.
An
That's not-
entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's an entrepreneurial investment.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sounds like lobbying.
No.
Not at all, no? And the two of you strategically gift certain plots of land to military leaders and judges, ensuring that if a court battle happens, the system is already tilted in your favor.
See, we're just laying the groundwork for Citizens United. That's all.
We're supporting civil servants
Yeah.
in like really substantive ways and helping
Supporting
boost the local
veterans.
Yes.
Supporting
Boosting the local economy. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
So the governor decides to drop the case,
I bet he
stating
does.
that
Good
Los
choice.
Angeles's land disputes are too complex to address immediately. Too complex.
I love, there's so much illegal stuff going on here. We don't know where to start.
Exactly.
They're like, that
It's-
seems exhausting. Never mind.
Yes. It's like, we're going to just push this in the back and then
Yeah.
pretend it didn't happen. Senator Gwynn publicly praises Pico for his contributions to California's future, cementing his reputation as an ally of progress rather than an obstacle. Arcadia Bandini gains a direct line to high-ranking politicians, making her one of the most politically connected women in California.
Heck yeah.
The businessmen back off, realizing that to get any land, they now have to deal with you. Yeah, but not everyone's happy about it, okay? A group of landowners feel betrayed, claiming you've sold out Mexican Californians by working with U.S. politicians. Some of your former allies are now turning against you, believing you've abandoned your people for power.
Not for power, for money.
Yeah.
Obviously.
It's different.
It's different. Much more comfy than just power alone.
Uh-oh. Now comes the revolt of the rancheros.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh.
With
Did we make a
California's-
mistake?
Yeah, I think you did. I think you done goofed. With California's American-led government expanding, Mexican landowners feel more pressure than ever. A rebellion is brewing among rancheros, descendants of Spanish and Mexican settlers who are furious at U.S. laws that threaten their lands. Word spreads that an uprising is planned against the government in Los Angeles. Some landowners want your support to lead a movement against the Americans. Others say you should stay neutral, but siding with the government could secure your power permanently. What do you do?
Oh, boy. I see
Okay,
the
so-
words lead a rebellion.
You got some tough ones to make. All right. So you could lead the rebellion, rally all the Mexican landowners, gather fighters, and launch an armed resistance against the U.S. government. This could make you heroes or criminals.
You know what my choice is.
We
Well,
haven't even
hold
heard
on.
the others. He's like,
You
Yeah.
get
"Do it."
3 other options. You're like the kid in class. It's like, I know the answer, and you didn't even read the rest of the answers
Do
yet.
I have to when I get to lead a rebellion?
Yes.
Oh, no.
You could stay neutral, sit back and see what happens.
Lame.
If the rebellion succeeds, you align with them. If it fails, you'll claim you were never involved.
That's the coward's way out. Lame.
safe but risky political play.
Boo.
Or you could warn the U.S. government. Secretly alert your new American allies about the rebellion so they can crush it before it begins. This ensures your power and land remains untouched, but may make you traitors in the eyes of fellow Californios.
Oh,
Is that what? I thought it was
Sure.
Californians.
it is? I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
that's a
Is that
special.
like a Spanish way of saying Californians?
Maybe.
I'm not sure. Well,
Couldn't
fellow
tell ya.
Californians then.
Mhm.
Or you know what my favorite is going to be?
The false flag.
Stage a fake attack. send a small group of bandits to fake an uprising, forcing the government to negotiate with Mexican landowners without war. A high-risk, high-reward bluff.
I was really hoping that we would have an option to like just send money to the rebels while pretending we're on America's side, which I feel like is the most American thing to do.
That I was about to say that someone seems to have
like
read the CIA playbook here.
So be two-faced is what you're saying.
No, just do it the American way where you fund the people, or, you know, we fund whoever it is that we're actually against and then say we're remaining neutral.
I was going to say, that is totally a plan we have never done in the Middle East.
Never.
At all.
Ever.
No. What? When? I don't recall.
Every few years we do it again. I do like the
gosh.
false flag in this situation. It feels like it's, you know, because here's the thing. We're going to lead the rebellion. A widow of many parties, I could not possibly do such a thing as to lead a rebellion.
We don't even know Arcadia's age. At this point, she could be like elderly. She could be like
unsafe, you know, I don't want the vapors
for battle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the vapors.
How badass would it be if Arcadia is standing on top of the trench with a musket?
I mean, that
Here's
would be
the
pretty.
thing. Here's the thing is we know how it gets remembered in history, and Pico would be the only one remembered, and they would be like, and he brought some other people, and then like Arcadia would get nothing. Like I would have like
true.
Even if Arcadia like let it, they'd be like, I don't know, some chicks were there sometimes, I guess, but that might just be a lie. Like
that's never happened.
Yeah, definitely not in like Washington's Secret Six, you know, the spy ring that helped win the Revolutionary War. You know, some women that were international super spies and were forgotten for years. That never happens.
Right. It also just seems like our vibe to like pay people to go do something while we sit there and go, oh no, an uprising.
Well, who could
definitely
have
not
foreseen
funded by
this?
us.
Right.
Okay.
Like that's crazy.
Okay, I think we're doing the false flag.
Oh, yes. Listen. The
Girl
more
loves a false
chaos, the better. It just makes the history all the more chaotic. All right, so you guys are choosing to stage a fake attack rather than fully committing to either side because that's too much risk.
Mm-hmm.
Pico and Arcadia Bandini devise a high-risk, high-reward bluff, a staged uprising that will scare the U.S. government into negotiating with Mexican landowners instead of outright seizing their land. The plan? Pico secretly gathers a small group of trusted rancheros, convincing them to pose as rebels and stage a dramatic but harmless raid on Los Angeles government buildings.
Sounds like I get to be a part of the raid.
Lead a rebellion.
Yes.
Arcadia ensures that powerful figures in the U.S. government are in town when it happens, maximizing the fear factor while making sure no real harm is done.
Was this on January 6th?
Oh, God.
Oh. It sounds similar, doesn't it?
It has some energy there that seems familiar, but
it's giving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the rebels fire shots into the air. They steal some documents and disappear into the countryside, just enough to create panic without actually causing a real war. So just a little bit of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
As a result, the U.S. government freaks out and reports of a Mexican revolt spread like wildfire, forcing officials to consider compromises with landowners to prevent a real rebellion. Pico becomes a mediator. The government, unsure if he was involved or not, calls on him to help calm tensions.
Nice.
Giving him a powerful new role in negotiations.
Look at me go.
Yeah, you little deceiver, you. Arcadia Bandini gains even more influence.
Yeah,
as if she couldn't have enough already.
Mm-hmm.
Her wealth and connections make her a trusted advisor in the city's development, allowing her to shape Los Angeles' future in her favor. And once again, the businessmen pushing for the railway suddenly want to cut a deal with you, seeing you as powerful figures who can maintain stability.
Well.
How the turntables.
Look at us go.
I'm impressed because
Mhm.
I thought that was going to go way worse than it did. It could have been horrible.
You
But-
helped us choose that one.
Yeah.
You thought it was going to go horrible?
Well, yeah, fake attack.
Wait, hold on. Why are you pushing us to bad answers then?
Because I want to skew as far away from history as I possibly can. That's my job as the narrator, is to just steer you off
Be a bad
course.
influence?
Exactly.
right.
Okay.
Exactly. But not everything goes as planned. So your plan was okay. But we got some chaos. One of the ranchero leaders who was in on the fake rebellion takes things a little too seriously and actually attacks a government officer.
That sounds like...
It's always one.
and
It's
his
always
name was
just
probably
there's
Gus,
just
too.
you know,
You
but
got
it's
overly
like
excited.
Yeah.
but it's like you're giving all the other rancheros a bad name. Like it's always got to be one person.
Yeah.
One apple spoils the bunch.
Yep.
Now there's a real problem, and the U.S. government is demanding someone take responsibility. If you don't act fast, the government might crack down harder than before, using this as an excuse to strip Mexican landowners of their rights entirely.
Bro, it was one guy. It was just
Yeah.
Gus. How is that on us?
It's just Gus.
It's not us.
Everybody
that guy
else-
is-
Listen, someone's got to answer for Gus's crimes.
Yeah, and he's not even our friend. Like, Gus
How
answer
can
for
we
the
even be
crimes.
held
he
responsible?
doesn't even go here.
We've
Yeah.
never even met Gus.
Well, you guys have to decide what the final move is going to be. Are you going to quell the tensions, or is it going to get even worse? So let's see.
Okay.
With tensions at an all-time high, you have to resolve the situation before it spirals out of control. How do you handle the unexpected real attack that could destroy everything you've built? 1. Blame the rogue ranchero leader. Claim that he went too far and offer him up to the authorities to protect everyone else. This saves your status, but sacrifices one of your allies. 2. Frame someone else. Accuse one of the American businessmen of secretly funding the rebellion to push the U.S. government into a crackdown. This could turn the heat onto your enemies, but might be risky to pull off. 3. Try to de-escalate peacefully. Use your influence to convince the governor that it was just a misunderstanding, promising that the landowners are loyal and there's no need for retaliation. This is the most diplomatic path, but might make you look weak. 4. You can just pack up and flee to Mexico, take your wealth and power, and escape before things get worse. You'll live comfortably, but you'll abandon your influence in Los Angeles forever. What's it gonna be?
I like the idea of framing someone else.
Same.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Yes, the rogue ranchero leader, like, he screwed up, but here's the thing. He knows things. He knows it was
Yeah.
us.
And to
So
be
we
fair-
can't.
That's true.
He's
We
one
can't
of
toss
ours.
him
We got to
over.
protect ours.
He could rat you out.
Yeah, let's frame somebody.
He's part of the family. We've got to protect the family.
Well, you don't want
So-
to. You
That's right.
don't want to just like flee to Mexico. You could live in paradise for like ever.
As I'm gonna be honest, as much fun as just living in Mexico sounds, I feel like it's the coward's way out. We started this whole thing. We gotta finish it.
Nah,
And we also have
that's
all
true.
of this land tied up. We
Yeah.
could flee there, but how are we going to get our money from the land? Everything.
Yeah.
Like, we still haven't done our deal with the railroads and all of that. So if we're fleeing, that looks really sketch. And I need to be here to secure my land holdings
Mhm.
and parties. So
Because
Right.
then, because if we get our bag, then I can go down to Mexico and party on the beautiful beaches.
That's-
So,
exactly.
I want to enjoy the beaches in Mexico with
Plus,
lots
if
of
you
money.
if you fleed,
Mhm,
you
mhm.
could never return
Yeah.
to that, at least that part of the U.S. ever again.
Yeah.
So
Let's frame somebody.
all
so
right,
yeah,
we're
we
framing
frame
someone.
somebody at noon.
Mhm.
Marg's on the beach in Mexico at 5.
Amazing.
All right, that sounds like a good deal. Can I come?
No, you're the narrator. Get out of here.
Oh,
No marks for you.
no
Yeah.
marks for me. All right, so faced with the very real danger of losing everything, Pico, and Arcadia Bandini decide to flip the blame onto their rivals, the same American businessmen who had been pushing them out of power in the first place. If they can pull this off, they'll not only protect themselves, but also take down their biggest competition in the city's future development. So, here's the cover-up. This is what you guys decide to do. Pico meets with a few influential figures in Los Angeles and plants a dangerous rumor. See, here's the thing. I feel like out of all of this stuff, rumors have been the most dangerous thing that have happened.
Yep.
Are you saying gossip's not good?
Yeah.
Wow, look at that life lesson.
The rumor that you started was that certain wealthy American businessmen had been funding rebel groups to create unrest and force the U.S. government to seize even more land.
Wow, that sounds like that really could have happened and been truthful all along.
That would be crazy.
Yeah. Arcadia Bandini, using her elite social network, spreads the word at high society gatherings, ensuring the right people hear the rumor at the right time.
Heck yeah.
See, so not only do you need someone to create the rumor, but you need someone to distribute the rumor.
Yeah.
So that makes you guys the powerful
Perfect team.
team.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I also don't think rumor's the right word here. It just sounds like the truth.
I mean, nobody needs to know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, on top of creating rumors, you guys also forged some evidence. Some forged evidence conveniently surfaces a letter with a businessman's name on it that suggests he was in secret talks with the rebels. Just
There you
so
go.
happens to appear.
Proof is right there.
Yeah.
What more do we need?
You used to be able to get away with so much back in the 1800s.
Oh my God.
Honestly.
Literally could get away with murder.
Look at this letter. It's from Doug.
Gus was not at fault. Doug paid him.
Well, let's check his IP address. What's that?
Right. I have no way to verify this, so it must be true.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
All right, so the U.S. government believes the story, fearing a conspiracy against them.
Yay.
Officials launch an investigation into several powerful businessmen, pulling focus away from you. The accused businessmen are arrested. Without concrete proof of their innocence, they are disgraced and their influence in Los Angeles is shattered. Wait, isn't it innocent until proven guilty?
No.
Not back then.
Especially not now either.
Yeah,
I was going to say not now either, yeah. Pico and Arcadia Bandini become heroes.
Yeah, we do.
The government thanks them for exposing the plot, cementing them as loyal figures in the city's leadership. You now hold absolute power over Los Angeles' land. With your biggest rivals out of the way, you both become two of the most influential landowners in California history. However, not everyone is convinced. Some people suspect the truth, whispering that Pio and Arcadia orchestrated everything to eliminate competition. However, with no proof, they can't act against you.
Wait, they don't just want to fabricate proof like we did?
Yeah, see, why are you guys... Right. Why are you guys innocent until proven guilty, but not the businessmen?
Because we have
money.
All the land.
All the land and all the money.
Don't they have money?
Yeah, the real
Not
baller
anymore.
move here at the end would be to
true.
give away some of the land and just start handing out stuff. Look how powerful and rich we are. We're giving away land.
Arcadia's just over here. I couldn't do anything. Like, I'm just
I couldn't
a little
possibly
widow.
do anything wrong. I'm just here for the
Dearie me.
parties.
And the
I'm a
U.S.
sad
government will
widow.
now watch you more closely.
Yeah, but we did everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, now
done.
you
Keep
guys could, like,
watching.
retire from your life of crime and
Right.
just relax.
I'm done doing it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, as a final outcome, you guys took over Los Angeles through cunning deception and strategic alliances. You secured your legacy in the founding of Los Angeles. The railway project now moves forward, but under your terms. The city will grow exactly the way you want it to, and your names will forever be tied to its history. So, in our version of the story, history remembers Pio Pico as the last great California leader. Okay, so it was California.
Yeah, it must be people that were Mexican and then became, I guess, or like stayed after it became the U.S.
Yeah, that makes sense. A man who played the Americans at their own game and kept control of his lands longer than almost anyone else.
Haha.
Arcadia, I always want to say Bandini, like Ballerini, like Kelsey
Right.
Ballerini.
Yeah.
Arcadia Bandini is remembered as one of the wealthiest and most influential women in California's early days, shaping Los Angeles into a city of power, wealth, and political intrigue.
Heck
But
yeah.
history doesn't always tell the whole truth, and your rivals never saw it coming. Dun dun dun.
I love it.
Awful. So I love that now you guys are like the leaders of LA with
Yes.
all of your land.
Yeah.
So did you ever give the Mexican landowners their land back?
Listen, there's a lot of things that might happen in the future. There's a lot of business that we have to do first.
It is the most corporate answer I've ever heard.
Okay. So what actually happened in history is that Pico really did lose much of his land.
No.
Aw, Pio, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm sorry, Pio. Due
At
to
least-
American policies, but he fought hard to maintain power.
I hope I made him proud then.
I think you
Yeah.
did. He is just looking down on you and smiling upon your
Yay.
mountains of land.
Yay.
Arcadia did become one of the wealthiest landowners in California, influencing the city's development. So, Arcadia, you actually reached your
Crushed it.
destiny. Crushed it.
Look at
Aced
that.
it.
There we go.
100%.
I am actually very curious now about the actual woman and how she ended up being so wealthy in that time and
I
actually
know.
holding any kind of power in that time, because
That's rare.
that's rare, and what a wild time to try the building of a city in an undeveloped Los Angeles and all of that.
Mhm.
That is wild to think about.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to do some information digging on Arcadia. So the railway and the land disputes shaped early Los Angeles, but in real life, Mexican landowners were actually slowly pushed out by the American government, which is not great. Not great.
Yeah. Not great.
No.
And seen
not great.
across history every time.
I was gonna say they're not the only ones that
I'll
were
say
pushed
that was
out of their
definitely
land.
not a trend.
No.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah. So not only do we have to apologize now to the indigenous people of this land, but also
Mhm.
Mexican individuals who were pushed out of their land.
Yeah.
You know, when are we gonna learn? Stop shoving people off their land. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just purchase
Just
it
don't.
fair and square.
Just don't.
If you really want it that badly, be rich and buy their land.
Just
And
be
if
rich.
you can't, oh well.
If there's a message for this
Just
episode,
be
it's just be rich. Is it
Oh
so
my
hard?
God.
Why
People
weren't
are really
you
going to
born
legitimately
rich?
think I have money, and I
Dude, let us
not.
be clear. We're teachers.
we're teachers. I'm
Now,
a college professor.
Granted, we are also content creators, so we do have secondary sources of income.
Yes.
However, I am in no way in that kind of tax bracket where I could buy someone's land. I could not. I could.
No.
I still have a mortgage. I cannot even
Yeah.
buy my own whole house. So
Yeah. The most
know.
extravagant thing I have is that I have a student come and clean my car every other month. That is my
There you go.
extravagance right now. So I'm not in that Bandini level.
nah,
sadly.
we're not at the same level as Arcadia. She's
Right.
She's transcended our financial wealth.
Right.
Okay. So, how we changed history. Our strategy ensured that Pio and Arcadia kept their land and influence, making them undisputed rulers of early Los Angeles instead of losing out to the Americans.
Love it.
So I given that statement, I'm going to assume that Arcadia was also Mexican.
Yeah. That's what it sounds
So-
like.
Yeah, so in this case, the Mexican landowners kept their land and actually influenced more of Los Angeles.
Yeah. So you were asking how we were helping Mexican landowners. We are Mexican landowners. We, by helping ourselves, are helping Mexican landowners.
There you go. We erased our biggest rivals from history and secured total control of the city's early development. So those guys, they just gone. We just got them arrested, forged some documents,
Cutthroat business, man.
Yeah, it's just business.
Shrewd.
Wait till the 80s come around, man. Whew.
Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
The U.S. government still built its railway, but you guys decided on the terms instead of their own terms.
Nice.
Okay, so we did end up looking up Arcadia, and this is a little bit about her. So Arcadia Bandini de Stearns Baker was born into one of the wealthiest and most influential Californio families in Mexican California. Her wealth came from several key sources. 1, family wealth and land ownership. She was born in 1825 to Juan Bandini, a wealthy landowner, merchant, and politician in Mexican California. The Bandini family owned large ranches and properties across Southern California, including land that would later become part of Los Angeles and San Diego. Because land was the most valuable resource in early California, families like the Bandinis accumulated wealth through cattle ranching, agriculture, and strategic marriages. And then here's where it gets a little weird and kind of grody.
I'm a victim.
Yeah, you're definitely a child victim. So unfortunately, Arcadia, at just 14 years old, that makes me cringe.
That's a little young.
It's very young.
I was gonna say
very young. Yeah, it's the age of Romeo and Juliet. Also,
Yep.
Arcadia married Abel Stearns, a wealthy American businessman who had become one of the largest landowners in California. Stearns was a major land speculator and cattle rancher, controlling large sections of California, or Southern California, including parts of what is now Los Angeles, Orange County, and Riverside.
Man, I wish my job could be land speculation.
Yeah, let me just speculate some land.
That looks like a good piece of land.
I'll take it.
That boulder, I like that boulder.
But this marriage was important to them because Abel Stearns was one of the richest men in California at the time. So, I mean, although she became a child bride, which is gross, she did marry into wealth. I don't know if that was her choice, though, which gives me the heebie-jeebies. So,
cannot imagine it was.
No, I don't also imagine that it was. He bought huge amounts of land during the Mexican and early American periods. Through this marriage, Arcadia gained access to immense financial and political power. So it sounds like at least she was like, hey, if I got to be married to this dude and I'm 14 years old, at least I can benefit from it.
Right.
I guess. I'm still grossed out by the child bride thing.
It's pretty bad. We don't know how old he is, but too old.
Okay,
because
wait.
It sounds like he
I
had
was gonna
power
say,
already.
knowing the marriages back then, he was definitely not around the same age. So.
No, he wasn't 14 and land speculating.
No. But after he died in 1871, Arcadia inherited much of his estate, including vast amounts of land across Southern California. She continued to invest in land in Los Angeles as it grew in the late 1800s. The value of her properties actually skyrocketed, which made her become one of the wealthiest women in California. And she actually controlled key areas like downtown Los Angeles, Santa Monica, and Beverly Hills, which would all be developed later on.
She picked the hot spots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, get this, you're not a widow because you had a second marriage to Colonel Robert Baker, which gave her even more land, including the Rancho San Vicente and Santa Monica, which later became part of modern-day Santa Monica. So, long story short, Arcadia had some very strategic relationships in her life that obviously afforded her the wealth. However, she seemed like, although she was given this wealth at birth, she didn't squander it. It seemed like she continued to invest in land to grow that wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she girl bossed her way to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
She's an
choose
OG girl boss.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose to believe that she was a girl boss.
Yeah, I agree.
So go Arcadia.
Go Arcadia. Love that.
All right. Well, I hope you had fun playing this game because you killed it.
Thank you.
You made so many interesting and strategic and sneaky choices, and I love it so much. It was a trip.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, and I am notoriously bad at history, so it is one of those where it's like couldn't have told you anything. Even though I grew up in San Diego, like couldn't have told you one teeny tiny piece of the founding of Los Angeles or San Diego because I have no idea. So
Neither could I. But that's what I love about this game is because every time we play it, we learn more stuff. And I had no clue. I'm from Ohio. Like, I had no clue how Los Angeles was founded or the fact that there were people pushed off their land for them to do so and all that.
I usually think in our history that's just a safe guess.
I mean, it is,
That's just a safe
unfortunately,
guess.
but I didn't know that. So that's interesting to find out.
yeah.
Well, before we go, I know you have some cool stuff you're working on. So do you want to share some of that with our listeners?
Yes. So we have the second season of my podcast, Those Who Can't Do, which maybe might have a new name, maybe won't. We'll have to wait and see. That is going to be coming out in the next few weeks. And we're very, very excited about that. It's going to be so fun. And then I actually have some live shows that I'm going to be doing.
Woo.
Very exciting. So I have Kansas City, I'm going to be doing at the end of May at the Funny Bone.
Awesome.
And then I've got June 7th, I'm going to be in San Diego at Mic Drop Comedy. And those are like just solo stand-up shows. And then I'm also doing the Teacher's Lounge, which is a comedy tour with myself and Gasper Randazzo and Phil Lindsay.
All
that
hilarious.
is going to be, oh my gosh, they crack me up. And we're going to be starting that up probably in August and going to be hitting a bunch of cities. So lots of things kind of going on right now, but it was so fun coming on today. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah. I loved being on your show before too. I was really nervous because I think that was the first time we'd ever like met in person, but not in person, right? Was it?
Did you come on my podcast before we met?
I think so.
I think that's right.
So.
I think I had you on the podcast and it was early days. And so we were still like figuring out the format and all of that stuff. And then
we met in California afterward.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
It's so crazy to see like the evolution of our friendship.
Right.
But I love you. I love having you on the show. It's been so fun. And I think you're hilarious. So everyone needs to go check out Educator Andrea on all her socials. And you'll get to hear fun things about her life and things that she hears her students say. And I can appreciate that because I like making content like that. So
that's right.
It's my favorite. So you should go check it out too. But thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll be right back, guys. All right, and we're back.
Hey.
That was fun.
I
liked how Andrea negotiated by bribery.
Negotiated.
Yeah, I was choosing my words carefully. And then I just laid down the hammer with the bribery. But I mean, hey, sometimes you gotta shake and bake.
In our crazy world, sometimes you have to grease some palms to I don't know where that's going.
That's just it. Sometimes you have to grease some palms.
I like that. Nice, short and terse. Just to the point.
I like that we finally did an episode of Past to the Future where we made some not great decisions.
Yeah, but you know what? I think in the grand scheme of things, we were the heroes.
You were.
So.
But behind closed doors, maybe not to everyone. The world may never know.
What we definitely learned is that you could just write letters and say, hey, here's a piece of evidence.
They'll definitely believe it.
And they'll believe you.
Exactly. They'll definitely believe you. Well, you can let us know what you thought of this historical adventure this time around.
Where at?
You can go to wearefinepod.com and let us know. You can also find our Human Content family at Instagram and TikTok at Human Content Pods, or you can also email us at hello@wearefinepod.com. We love to hear your feedback. If there's any particular historical events that maybe you want to hear us do, or even some historical figures you want to hear incorporated into some of these adventures. I would like to hear those.
I think that would be fun.
It would be fun. And you could also visit my YouTube channel, Mrs. William Fifth, to watch our full episodes if you prefer to see our lovely faces.
There's also now a video component on Spotify
There
that you can check out too. So
100%. Well, thank you for listening. We're your hosts,
thank
Lauren
you.
and Jordan Woolley.
This show has been executive produced by Lauren and Jordan Woolley, Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brooke.
Special thank you to our guest today, Andrea Forcum.
Our editor is Andrew Sims.
Our engineer is Jason Portizo.
And the music is by Omer Benzvi.
To learn about our program disclaimer and ethics policy and submission verification and licensing terms, go to wearefinepod.com or reach out to us at hello@wearefinepod.com with any questions and concerns.
We Are Fine is a human content production.
Bam! Hey, you.
Hey.
I love that shirt you're wearing.
And you know what would go great with that shirt?
What?
A nice big virtual hug. And you can get that by hitting some of these buttons down here. Subscribe, like, comment. We'll give you a big old virtual hug.
Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you guys next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.
Human content.